Unreal Tournament 2004 is a game developed by Epic Games and Digital Extremes, released on March 16, 2004 in North America. The game has a single player and a multiplayer. I'm going to be starting off with the single player. The story is that humanity had a war with an alien race called the Scar, and we left its empire in shambles. To assist in calming down the colonists and to rebuild their planet, the Landry Corporation came up with the idea of staging a gladiatorial tournament to calm down the miners working on the planet. It quickly became an official sport with sponsored teams fighting it out. You, the player, come in at the 10th tournament. When you first start single player, it'll ask you to select a character. Then you are dropped into a tutorial. If you've ever played any arena shooter, you most likely won't need this. It's just telling you the basics to shoot and to move, pretty much.
Welcome to Unreal Tournament Deathmatch training. Deathmatch is a simple game. When the match starts, press fire to enter the combat arena. This is called spawning.
The only things that might be new to you is the adrenaline meter and that all weapons have an alternate fire mode now. How the adrenaline meter works is the more kills you get or objectives you take or do, you'll get points to your adrenaline meter. Adrenaline can be used to increase your speed, turn on health regen, and even turn invisible. To use adrenaline, you have to move in certain directions to enable adrenaline. For example, hitting your up key 4 times will allow you to move faster and jump higher. But hitting your backwards key 4 times will allow you to regenerate health up to 199. It's a cool system. I like how it actually rewards you for actually playing the game. When you're done with the tutorial, that is if you even participate in it, you'll be put into the menu and you'll have to select the 1v1 mode right above it. There is no second place here. You have to win this match. You have to win every match you put into. For a few matches, you're going to be doing stuff alone, but at the end of all that, you get to create your own team. You have a roster to choose from when making your own team, but every person has their price. The better they are, the more they cost, the worse they are, the cheaper they are. Any teammate is better than none. It doesn't matter if they're the highest ranking guy you bought, as long as they have a gun and they can shoot straight, that's all that really matters. After you've selected your team members, you kill them. You gotta show them who's boss after all. While we're here in game, let's take a second to look at the graphics. They still hold up pretty well in my opinion. You see, when you get close to some textures in this game, it will display a secondary higher res texture only when you get close to it. They do this so it doesn't look as blurry when you get up close to it. Now only some textures have this actually. Like this metal pipe texture, it has a secondary texture very clearly, it looks really good. But this brick texture does not have a secondary texture, it looks very blurry. But then again, this isn't really necessary, the secondary texture. The game looks good without it. And you most likely won't be going up close and staring at walls for long periods of time like I do. Regardless, it's a really neat detail that they didn't even need to add, but I love that they did. Now back to what I was doing before, I think I was killing my teammates. After you're done slaughtering your teammates, you're thrown into the team qualifiers. The team qualifiers are just like the solo stuff, except this time, you have a team with you. And sometimes when you kick a team's butt hard enough, they'll invite you to a 1v1. Here's where one of like 2 problems I have with this game show up. That I personally think the 1v1 maps are just a little too big. I just spend most of my time walking around trying to find the guy. These 1v1s take a little while. But you can always decline them. You don't have to take these 1v1s. That is just more of a nitpick if anything. The rest of the maps in this game are excellent. After you beat the team qualifiers, you can now do the real thing in the ladder tournament. This is where single player really kicks off and starts to become a real challenge. This is also where I'm gonna stop talking about the single player. Not that it's bad or anything, because if I'm gonna be honest, most people bought this game for its multiplayer. Now multiplayer has a lot of content, but before you hop on the multiplayer, you gotta choose your player model. And I gotta hand it to them, these models are cool. My favorites are Cathode and Virus. Cathode looks like this robot nun, and Virus looks like a soldat from Wolfenstein. You can also change their voice, which is a really cool detail.
You bleed better than you shoot! Step aside!
And while you're also here, you can change your weapons. You can change the crosshairs, or you can change their models to the Unreal 2003 models if you prefer those. So it's safe to say this game has some really good customization. Alright, that's enough of the options menu. Let's actually get into multiplayer and play a match. Unfortunately, I bring bad news. Nobody's on. This is a ghost town. I think I know why. Unreal 2004 ran on GameSpy servers, and GameSpy shut down in 2014. The only way I've been able to play multiplayer is with friends through Hamachi. Now, there might be some mods out there that fix this, but I haven't looked into it. I'm looking at this game purely as if I just bought it. The only thing I have that didn't come with the game is a INI file. This file allows me to use modern resolutions and widescreen, so no gameplay changes at all. If you get this game and want widescreen or modern resolutions, I'll leave a link to this file below where you can download it. Looking at the server browser, it seems there's people playing somehow. These servers are playing on wants me to make a stats account, and I don't know how to do that. You can go into options and make one, but that doesn't seem to do anything, and it'll link you to a page that doesn't even exist anymore. That's no big deal though, because this game has good bot support. And like I said earlier, if you want to play with friends, try using Hamachi or a similar service. Now, bot support in this game is great. Every mode supports bots. And let me tell you, there's a lot of game modes to play. First mode is Assault. Assault is where one team is attacking and one team is defending various objectives. It could be a tank or something completely different. And the teams take turns. One team will attack one round and then defend the next one. The next game modes are very common: Deathmatch, Free-for-all, and Capture the Flag. Just because they're in other games though, doesn't mean that they're not good here. They're very good here and very fun. Next mode is Onslaught. This could be described as a violent version of Connect the Dots. Onslaught, you have to control these points and make a line to the enemy's power core. Only when you have made a straight line to their power core can you actually attack it. You can't do anything to it before it. This mode also includes vehicles, like tanks and ATVs and such. Really cool and neat idea. After that, we have a slight twist on the domination game mode, seen in so many other games. It's called Double Domination. Most games will only give you 3 points, here you only have 2 points to work with. All you have to do to capture a point is to just walk over it. There's nothing complicated about it. But that's all the enemy has to do too, is to just walk over it, so these matches can get kinda hectic and really cool and fun. You hold the points for about 8 seconds. Then it will restart, disable the points, and then start them back up. There's no going to a lobby to wait, it just starts up again and you have to go capture the points again. I like that, it's fast and quick and to the point. The next mode is Bombing Run. The easiest way to describe it is basketball with guns. A ball spawns in the middle of the map. You have to pick the ball up and throw it through the enemy team's hoop. It sounds simple, because it is. Just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy though. Next mode is Mutant. The player to get a kill will become the mutant. When you're a mutant, you're like kind of transparent. There's like these dots all over you. You also have health regen and faster movement speed. But if you're at the bottom of the scoreboard, you can get some easy kills on unsuspecting players to raise your score up a little. The next mode is Invasion. Invasion starts the enemies from the first Unreal game. Not Unreal Tournament, but just Unreal. Spawns waves of the guys from the first Unreal, and you have to get rid of them all. But you only have 1 life, so you better make it count. These last 2 modes are also kinda common in arena games. Instagib, or Jib, I don't know, I'm pronouncing it Instagib, Capture the Flag, and Last Man Standing. Instagib, Capture the Flag is just Capture the Flag, but every hit's an insta-kill. And Last Man Standing is like Deathmatch, but you have lives. Now with that out of the way, I'd like to talk about the music for a second. Kids would describe this soundtrack as funky. music like that in games anymore, that's for sure. Now I recommend this game to anyone at all who likes arena shooters. It's good, it's fast-paced, and it's fun. But I will make a PSA here. If you buy on Steam, you're going to be paying a little more than you should be. On Steam, it's $14.99. On GOG, it's $9.99. I actually got mine on a GOG summer sale. I got it for like $1.50, if even. Now, with all that out of the way, I'd appreciate it if it did all the typical YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Maybe I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.